Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, February 7th. I am getting ready for work. It's another rainy day in California and I have two hour-long meetings this morning. So I'm in a little bit of a rush. It's gonna take a while to get to work, but let me show you what I'm having for breakfast, lunch, and snack today. Okay, breakfast this morning is going to be a 1 Smart Point muscle milk. These are super good if you put them in the freezer for about an hour to an hour and a half. They get kind of frosty and yummy like a shake. And I also like drinking them in the middle of a meeting instead of coffee so that I don't have too much coffee. And also if the meeting occurs at my breakfast time, which it does, I am having. So that is 1 Smart Point of muscle milk. I'm also having my coffee, and in my coffee this morning I have just 1 tablespoon of this sugar-free hazelnut creamer. So 1 tablespoon is 0 Smart Points, and then I'm also having a banana. So breakfast altogether is 1 Smart Point. For lunch, I'm having my turkey wrap. I have the 1 Smart Point Olay Extreme Wellness Wrap, the spinach and herb flavor, 1 point. I have literally only 2.5 slices of the Oscar Mayer turkey deli meat on there. It was the last little bit I had. So 2 slices is 0 Smart Points. I have 1 slice of Kraft fat-free singles for 0 Smart Points. I've got jalapeno mustard, 1 teaspoon of relish, and some sliced apples, all for 0 Smart Points. So my wrap is 1 Smart Point. I'm having a cup of sugar-free Jell-O for 0 Smart Points. And then I'm having 1 packet of this tofu spinach miso soup. It is the Kikkoman brand. I ripped the top off, but it's Kikkoman tofu spinach miso soup, and it is 1 Smart Point per serving. So lunch altogether today is 2 Smart Points. For snack, I'm having this really terrible looking pear, if it makes it that long. I dropped it, so it got really banged up. I'm having a 0 point pear, and then I'm also having a 2 Smart Point Light and Fit peach Greek yogurt for 2. So altogether today I have 1 Smart Point for breakfast, 2 Smart Points for lunch, and 2 Smart Points for snack. That is 5 Smart Points total until dinner. Hi guys, it is 4 in the afternoon. I am taking my second break outside. You can see it's very yucky out. It's windy. It's been raining all day. I didn't take my first walk because it was raining. I did kill it in the gym though. Whoop whoop. At lunch I ran 3 miles at 7.3 miles again. So it was a lot easier because, you know, I only did 3 miles instead of 5, but I did 7.3 miles an hour, so I will drop it down for the rest of my workouts this week and probably just do like 6.8 miles an hour for the rest of the week. I did notice when I was in the gym there's a helicopter. In California, if there's a helicopter, it means something's up, something not good. So there's probably an accident on the freeway or something. Anyway, I noticed in the gym, in my little tinkety top, that my shoulders right here, when I am at my thinnest, I have it's like a little bump right here on my shoulders. It's hard to explain, but it's a good thing. It means that my my shoulders are toned well and do not have a lot of extra fat on them. So haven't seen that for a long time. So it made me very happy. I'll try to take a picture later because it's hard to describe what I'm trying to describe. But it's essentially like 2 little bumps on my shoulders. I like them. And I like seeing them because that means I know I'm at a low weight. So I'd like for them to be more prominent, but I feel like that would get weird. And honestly, if I lost more weight to make my shoulder bones more prominent, then people would say I'm losing too much weight. And yeah, with my whole eating disorders past, we don't want to go there. Like, really, any lower, I should not go lower than 130. As tempting as it may be. And really, I probably can't go lower than 130 because I'm having a hard time even getting to 130 at this point. So, yeah. Anyway, I was happy to see that bit of toning today. It made me happy, and it kind of makes me feel like even though my weight might kind of be stuck right now, like I may be doing some good things for my body, maybe some extra toning. Maybe it was the rowing that I did in January. Maybe that helped tone up my shoulders more. I don't know, but anyway, I will try to take a picture of that. Had a little change up for lunch. I had a friend, she made a sweet potato something. It's a sweet potato dish. It was really delicious, Liz. So I had a bit of that for lunch and did not have the wonton soup. I guess that's it. I still have a banana to have later, which I will probably have before the Weight Watchers meeting. So that's where I'm at. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say. There's really nothing going on today. I'm just working. I had 2 back-to-back meetings this morning. Both were very successful. I feel like I'm making strides in some of my New Year's goals. Well, we call them fiscal year goals for my work. So I feel like I'm making some progress with those, and yeah, just getting things done. I really, really, really hate my hair right now. I just hate this cut. Like, the color I like, but look at this cut. Like, okay, I tried to even it up this morning. So now it's more blunt, but it's still just choppy and I don't like it. There's nothing I can do but actually like cut it even shorter, and I've had short hair for like the last 2 years, so I don't want short hair. I like my hair short, but I was hoping to like it long again for a while. But anyway, have my Weight Watchers meeting tonight. Weigh-in is tonight. I weighed in this morning on my scale and I was up 0.2 of a pound. So nothing major, not a biggie, and I'm really not really counting my home weigh-in anyway. So I will give you the official good or bad news after I weigh in tonight. Tonight we're having those stuffed burger patties that I picked up last night. I thought they were stuffed burgers, that's what they advertised them as, but it really just looked like they added some blue cheese. It looks like shredded blue. It looks honestly like shredded Parmesan mixed in to the ground beef. That's what it looks like. But he said they were blue cheese and cracked black pepper, and it looks like whatever they added to the ground beef, they just added inside. They didn't stuff anything. So I'm gonna weigh it out. I think I weighed it last night, and my 10 smart points estimation seems like it'll be pretty accurate. So that's what's for dinner, peeps. Heading back to the office now. Traffic is getting louder and people are looking at me, so I'm gonna sign off for now, and I will touch base with you guys after weigh-in. Bye. Okay, there's the burgers cooking, and I just realized as I was trying to figure out Okay guys, here is dinner tonight. So these are the free stuffed burgers that I picked up last night from the store. They are actually a lot bigger than I expected, and I haven't cut into it, so I don't really know if it's actually stuffed with cheese, but this is apparently a stuffed black and blue burger. It has blue cheese and black pepper. So when I weighed it after cooked, it is 5.5 ounces. So I'm going to count 1 ounce of blue cheese at 4 smart points, and I'm going to count 4.5 ounces of beef, ground beef, and I'm just counting the 75% ground beef, so that is 9 smart points. So the burger total is 13 smart points, and then I have a salad here with the just salad greens,
grape tomatoes. I have 1 teaspoon of cranberries for 0 smart points, 1 teaspoon of pepitas for 0 smart points, and then I have 2 tablespoons of the Bolthouse Farms Bolthouse Farms blue cheese yogurt dressing. 2 tablespoons is 1 smart point. So on the plate I have 14 smart points altogether. And then I'm going to try measuring my wine out a little better so I can count the points better. So these are the Weight Watchers wine glasses. And if you can tell, if you can see the lines, you can probably see the lines better on this partially filled one. So the top line is 8 ounces. The next lowest line is 6 ounces. And then the bottom line that you can't see very well is 5 ounces. Okay, so the 8 ounces in this glass is 7 smart points, and 5 ounces in this glass is 5 smart points. So the total in wine is 12 smart points.
You guys, that burger was so delicious. I haven't had a hamburger in God knows how long. So it's been a really long time since I've had an actual hamburger, and that was really good. It was very garlicky. The cheese flavor was really good, and it was big and rich because it was the full fat. It was like 75%, so it was really flavorful but also very rich. So it just was really delicious. It was a lot higher points than I expected, so I decided not to have the wrap that I was going to eat with it. And yeah, it all worked out. I'm at exactly 30 points for the night, 30 for 30. And let's talk about weigh-in. So I weighed in tonight at 134.4. I'm exactly 1.4 pounds above what I was last week. I'm okay with that because I feel like I don't think I did horrible last week. I just did my typical bad, but the week before that was kind of horrible. So I think as an accumulation of the last 2 weeks, I probably deserve that little gain. And it's like, it's such a tiny gain to me because being at Lifetime and my lifetime goal weight is 145, I should really be happy with anything under that. To me, anything under 135 is actually okay. So 134.4 is not terrible. I did have a little gain, but I feel like I know what to do to really weigh in less, and if I really wanted to weigh less, I would do what I know I need to do. So it's not a big deal for me. It's just part of living life the way that I've chosen to live life in the last 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna try and do better the next week. I was talking with a friend of mine from Weight Watchers tonight. She has lost 75 pounds. So I'm kind of picking her brain. And honestly, she is just staying within the points range. Here's how she's doing it. She is a major foodie like I am. Her name is Cheryl. Cheryl, if you watch this, hello. I love you and I love talking to you. I love picking your brain. I love seeing you at Weight Watchers every week, and I love seeing your fabulous success and progress. So what Cheryl has been doing is Cheryl loves to eat out like I do. She likes to indulge in different foods, exotic foods. Okay, so chocolates were the food of the week this week. Not chocolates. I think she said like Bavarian chocolates or maybe truffles. But when Cheryl indulges in foods, she works so hard to stay within her points range. And by that I mean, as much as I work out, Cheryl gets almost twice as many fit points as I do. So she is in the gym a lot. And what that tells me is that regardless of how many food points she's eating per week or per day, she's paying the price, she's balancing the checkbook by being in the gym and taking the points hit on the activity side. So I should really ask her what her points allowance is and
her approximate number of points that she uses per day. But what I've noticed is that she really she makes up for it in the gym. And I could totally do that. Every week I use all of my weeklies and I use all of my fit points. Sometimes I'm negative even after that and sometimes not. Last week I was negative 55 points after using both my weeklies and all of my fit points. So if we follow the Cheryl example, I could use all of my weeklies, I could use all of my fit points, but if I'm going to indulge in something even after that, I need to know that I need to make up for it in the gym. I don't know, that's the only thing I can see that she's really doing above and beyond what I am that is really leading to her continued success. Another thing is that she maybe has a little more weight to lose until she gets to goal or gets to her lifetime goal. I am already there and under that, so I know that the lower you get, the harder it is to actually lose more. I really only want to lose like 3 or 4 more pounds, but at this point, I wonder if my body is already where it's supposed to be and it's going to be so difficult to lose those last few pounds. Is it really going to be worth it? Like, one thing that my leader has always said is, she says, don't do anything that you would to lose weight that you're not willing to continue afterwards to keep the weight off. So I keep that in mind a lot, mostly I guess when I think about maybe number one, my wine points. Like, if I gave up the wine completely, I might lose the 3 pounds like that. But am I willing to not really have wine much at all to keep those 3 pounds off? At this point, no. The other thing I have to question is if I really want to increase my activity to, like, say, I don't know, I'm at 5 miles a day right now. So what if I want to increase to 8 miles a day to lose those last few pounds? Is that something that I want to keep up for the long term to keep those pounds off? I don't know. For the activity, it's a time thing, but it's also, I mean, activity takes a lot of effort. So it's something I'd really have to think about wanting to keep up for the long term. So those are just some things that I thought about as I was walking away from the Weight Watchers meeting. This week I really want to think about, maybe I have a Weight Watchers points goal and I never really stay within that goal. I feel like because I'm on Lifetime and I know I'm on Lifetime and I also know I'm actually below my goal, I feel like in my head I give myself way too much leniency. Why am I negative every week? Like, I could at least, even if I use all of my weeklies and all of my fit points, I should keep it at that and kind of, and then be at 0, like have a 0 balance by the end of the week. But I don't always do that. I feel like if I paid more attention to the points I'm given and stayed within that range, even if I obtain extra fit points, earn the extra fit points and use them, I need to stay within that range to either maintain or lose. So I feel like I need to focus more this week on smart points and just kind of staying within the range that I've been given. Number one, to at least maintain. Number two, to drop to the point that I want to be at. So I don't know that it necessarily matters where I get the smart points. If I want to eat sugar all day, I wouldn't. I'd be so hungry from not being able to eat much. But if I want to drink wine in the evenings, if I want to eat fatty hamburgers, I don't know that it's necessarily so much where the points come from, as long as I'm satisfied and I'm not walking around, there's a fly, as long as I'm not walking around starving all day, I can keep myself fairly satisfied. Does it matter where the points come from? Yes, I'll get less food if I don't choose wisely. But at this point, I feel like I'm fairly used to the kind of like points schedule that I have. So I've learned how to balance it with what I really want to eat and what I should be eating. So I don't know if the points themselves matter as far as where they come from, but more staying within my points range. So I'm going to think about that more this week and hopefully end my week within my points range. I'll probably use all of my weeklies. I'll probably use all of my fit points, but I need to think more about earning more fit points if I'm going to eat more. Anyway, so I'm ending this day at exactly 30 smart points. I don't think I hit my 13,000 step goal because of the rain, but that's okay. I'm okay with that because I had a really difficult workout at lunch. I sweated up a storm and I felt good about it. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to bump up the exercise, do the rower, and eat well. And I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.